One day, Billy asks his friend Joe, "Hey Joe, give me some tips for the horse races." Joe thinks for a second and asks, "How old are you?" Billy replies, "I'm 42. Joe grins and says, "Then bet on horse number 4 and number 2. Billy follows the advice, places the bet, and wins big. Excited, he runs back to Joe and says, "Give me another tip, Joe." Joe nods and asks, "How many years have you been married?" Billy replies, 17 years. Joe smirks and says, "Bet on number 1 and number 7. Billy bets again and wins. Now Billy is hooked. He sells his house, his car, everything he owns, and goes back to Joe, desperate for one last tip. "Joe, give me one more tip." Joe looks at him seriously and asks, "All right, how many inches is your dick?" Billy proudly says, 11 inches. Joe grins. "Then bet on number 1 and number 1. The next day, Billy is sitting at the bar, completely devastated. Joe walks in and asks, "What happened, Billy? You didn't win?" Billy sighs and says, "Man, I let my ego get the best of me. 2 and 5 destroyed me."